The 1930s era was an astounding era for the American people, where they experienced both the Depression at its worst and the struggles associated with that time. There were also some important events, whether it be historical, music, arts, sports, fashion, and movies. 1934 was an eventful year for the American people. Bonnie and Clyde, the infamous duo, became one of the most colorful and notorious manhunts in American history. On May 23, 1934, they were gunned down by Texas and Louisiana state police and were shot to death while driving a stolen car. This duo will truly forever go down in history. Later that year, on August 11, 1934, the American people were shook when Alcatraz, a former Navy base, became a maximum security federal prison.
This time also brought upon new sports idols to entertain the American people. One of these idols was George Herman Ruth Jr., also known as Babe Ruth. He started his career from 1914 to 1935, becoming a baseball sensation. He was first known as being a left-handed pitcher for the Red Sox, until he was transferred and became a well-known batter for the New York Yankees, to where he earned nicknames such as the Bambino. Babe Ruth was even one of the first 5 members inducted into the Hall of Fame. He played 22 seasons throughout his career, and during that time, he set in what is known as the home run era. The year of 1934 did not only bring upon historical events and new sports stars, but it also brought upon many new types of singing and new musicians. One musician being Ella Fitzgerald, who was dubbed the First Lady of Song. She also, throughout her career, had won 13 Grammys and sold over 40 million albums. Another musician during 1934 was Louis Armstrong, who was born on August 4th, 1901 and died July 6th, 1971. He was known as a trumpeter, composer, vocalist, and actor, and throughout his career he was known as a civil rights pioneer, and had had many nicknames, including Pops. Movies were also a beloved form of entertainment for the American people in 1934. One actress in particular was Shirley Temple. She was a famous child star in the 1930s. She started acting at the young age of 3, and by the age of 5 she could do it all, from acting, singing, and dancing. She was so loved in her films for being bright, bouncy, and cheerful. While some people prefer sports and others prefer movies, we also had other forms of entertainment during the year of 1934. One artist in particular was Ansel Adams, who rose to prominence for being a photographer of the American West, particularly of Yosemite National Park. His iconic black and white images helped establish photography among fine arts. He also used his work to promote conservation for wilderness areas until he unfortunately died in Monterey, California on April 22, 1984.
Finally, we come to how the fashions changed over the 1930s. Women started to dress differently, along with men during this era. Women started to wear fur coats, hats, poofy shoulders, and shoulder-length hair. Along with that, men started to wear trench coats, pinstrip suits, and short, neat hair.